morning. I'm gonna do a quick daily focus. I don't know about you guys, but my whole system has been on edge lately, and it's almost as if it's taking all of my energy to just exist. And I usually have a whole routine that I do. Get up in the morning, move my body, take care of the dogs, eat well, go to work, get that done and over with, come home, walk the dogs, do dishes, do a bath, go to bed, and it's just, I haven't even had the energy to keep up with that, or the fire and spark for it. And then I feel like my whole system's under attack, like anxious all of the time. Even if I go take a little walk out in the woods and breathe, I'm just completely on edge. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what wants to come out for the focus. I didn't pre-shuffle. A moment. Where should the collective's focus be? Oh no, this is a lot. Yay. This one's calling me out. Okay. Excuse me. So we had a moment on the bottom of the deck before we started pulling cards, and now we have Sweet Temptation at the bottom of the deck. This card speaks of, well, it talks about these fairies who were sent to gather strawberries, and in the midst of gathering them, they begin snacking on them. And it speaks about how it's okay to take a little break and have a little snack, a little sweet temptation, but there comes a time to get back to work. A moment is meditation, a moment to yourself, a moment of peace and calm. Family matters, eternal flame, spread your wings. Right, so we have Prove Yourself, came out sideways. Prove Yourself speaks of consistency, not chasing anything, but constantly showing up so that way something can come its way to you and build trust in you. And that could be an opportunity, that could be a person. But you know how stray cats, they tend to be curious of you, but also very scared of you, scared of what you may mean for them. And typically, if you just sit there and do your thing, they eventually gain the courage to follow their curiosity and see about you and get close and allow you to pet them. But it doesn't come from chasing after the cat and scooping the cat up. It comes from just consistently being a safe place to land. Then we have stepping away sideways as well. So when something comes up, we're not doing that. Go lay down. No. You leave her alone. Maisie has border collie in her, and she constantly feels the need to herd the husky, and then the husky just sits there and whines. So don't mind me. Okay, when something comes out sideways, I typically see it as something that needs your attention. And underline maybe something that you might be having difficulty with, which makes a lot of sense considering the fact that I just started this reading out about how I haven't been able to get back to work per se due to my nervous system. Stepping away means that you're too close to something. I might need to read that. And there's a need to kind of take some space from it, to invest in something else, invest in yourself instead of being so concerned about this other thing. See how she's looking at this shadowy figure from a distance? I don't know if there's something that you'd been chasing, because the fact that it came out with prove yourself and how the cats tend to scurry away if you chase them, and then it just becomes this mess of like, why won't you love me? Or why won't you come here? Whereas if you just kind of turn away, not leave, but turn away and, you know, focus on something else at hand, put your energy into something else and just kind of be that space for it to show up to you or come to you. Then we have Night Watch reversed. I'm gonna have to read that one. This one usually speaks of waiting to see if something is dangerous, feeling on guard, needing to wait and see if something is actually dangerous though. But it is reversed, and these cards do have reversal meanings. So back to stepping away. Just as we can appreciate a bird's song best without caging it. Maybe there's just been a focus on making something happen, forcing something to happen, trying to pick the flower rather than appreciating the fact that it's there. I don't know if that fits. But there comes a point when it's time to receive, not go out and take. And continuing to put yourself into the things that you're trying to create without trying to take or grab or scoop something up, is what makes you ready to receive. If that makes sense. I don't know about you, but this is fitting for me. Oh. I don't know how to use the alphabet. Okay, reversed. Tor's raven, Crack, is whispering softly to him. When caught between such strong and conflicting urges, the advice of a friend is invaluable. If we choose not to take that counsel, sitting and listening is often enough to slow us down and perhaps prevent us from overreacting. Obviously, I feel like something that I spoke about when it came to myself fits in with this reading. Your nervous system could be on guard somehow. You could be feeling fear and anxiousness, and that could just be because of some of the energies that are surrounding you, and wanting to make something happen, knowing that you're supposed to be making something happen, not knowing how to do it, or not knowing how to allow it, maybe. And I think something like that can cause a nervous system to be out of whack. I think that's certainly the case for me. But when our nervous system is flared up and irritated, we can tend to take action on those feelings when it's not necessary to do so. And doing so could be more of an act of self-sabotage than anything. So with that being said, being as we had a moment before we started pulling all these cards, either speak to somebody who knows how to kind of slow you down and bring you back to earth, bring you back to the moment, or find a way to find peace within yourself and within the moment in order to slow yourself down, to become a little less inflamed to the nervous system irritations that are going on. Then we had Family Matters and Eternal Flame. I can't remember the meanings for these cards, so we're going to read them and see how they fit. And then we also had Spread Your Wings. So, Family Matters first. It's been over 2 weeks since I've made a tarot reading, and I'm happy this is flowing like it is. I thought maybe I was going to be completely disconnected. Oh. With skin almost white and lilac-tinted eyes, Evelyn Ash knows she stands apart. But Coven society is liberal and understanding. Eve counts herself lucky to live as a witch, sparing a thought for those suffering persecution in the wider world. We all feel alone sometimes, but Eve has a whole coven to call her family. Just as the dragonflies cluster together and the crystals grow in groups, harmony comes from being with the like-minded. Even when we're away from them, they remain in our hearts, and so we never have to feel alone unless we choose to. Okay. Well, Night Watch was already speaking about getting with a trusted trusted person who understands you and someone who can help soothe the inflammation that you're feeling around your nervous system. Then we have Eternal Flame, which is right next to this. Wow. Coven Mother Cece Cece's task is to await the return of Astrus, the last dragon. However, the lighthouse built to guide her home is crumbling, and Astrus has been lost for generations. The task seems hopeless, but Cece remains vigilant. Day after day, she watches from the decaying balcony. Her faith is as battered as the stonework, but the lantern is never allowed to go out. Cece inherited her duty from the former watcher and will pass it on if Astrus does not return in her lifetime. Remember, there are events playing out that transcend single lifetimes, and although our part in them might be fleeting, it is not insignificant. Have faith. This card is asking you to not let your faith go out. To not... Is there something in your ear? She keeps shaking her head. There are events playing out that transcend single lifetimes. So that makes me think of like some of the karmic cycles that follow us into other lives, current lives. I don't know. So there could be a karmic cycle at hand right now that you're dealing with, which could be causing your nervous system to be so inflamed. But you're being asked to take a moment and soothe yourself. Have a little sweet temptation. Because sometimes that sweet temptation is enough nourishment to get you going again. You're being asked to not let your flame go out. You're being asked to connect with those who are a steady spot for you, and you're being asked to be consistent and not chase and allow and receive, which is going to be hard to do with your nervous system so inflamed. And then we have spread your wings. We'll read that, and then we'll go ahead and close this out. Morag Heron stands with Solhar, one of the 4 guardians of the Serpent Twins, Hethra and Hala. The great ocean bird is an epic wanderer and has circled the globe countless times. Along the way, he has seen many things, some terrible, others sublime, but his core values remain unchanged. Like Solhar, we should be open to new experiences, understanding that they don't threaten who we think we are or challenge what we hold important. Instead, experiencing something that might have mystified or frightened us previously deflates those fears and suspicions, or better still, provides new enjoyment and understanding. I'm kind of feeling this as an open your arms. Spread your wings, open your arms, take flight, be open to receive. Which is going to be hard to do with an inflamed nervous system. So you have free will at the end of the day. You don't have to do any of these things. These are just kind of highlighting a nudge you may already be feeling and sort of giving you the green light, giving you inspiration to act on the nudge. Because I don't know about you, but personally, I've been feeling sort of dead and cut off toward the nudge. I'm absolutely hating how empty I feel, but empty and filled with nervous system irritation at the same time. Like, I don't know if that's the spark wanting to come alive, but I feel paralyzed toward it more times than not. And it's frustrating. Sometimes I just want to cry and scream and be like, how come this just won't click for me? And what drives me most nuts, and this could be relatable for you, maybe not, is I'll be really good. I'll be super consistent for quite some time on my goals and moving my body, you know, taking my mental health bath at the end of the night. And then something happens and it's just like, or I won't see enough progress, and it just, something happens and I don't see enough progress at the same time, and it just makes me wonder if all of everything that I'm doing is futile. Futile? I don't know how that's pronounced. That's how I've been feeling lately. Like, am I actually even going to get anywhere with everything that I've been trying to do? Is it even going to come in? Because sometimes it feels more like beating my head on a wall than anything. All right, I need to go take a shower and take my ass to work. Excuse my language. My arse. All right, have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.